Stealing Story. Did you steal my story?
Oh my gosh, and I just remembered you have 2 little cats.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my cats will come in. And she's a real yapper. Like, if she hears us talking, she'll talk back.
That's my girl cat too. Maybe it's a girl cat thing.
Maybe. It is. Yeah.
Other girls just yap.
She's a yapper. She was
But then
born
once
to
they're
yap.
on the record, they get really quiet.
Yeah.
They get really nervous.
Oh yeah, anytime I'm like, Kiri, say hi for the camera. She's like, okay, I guess not.
I feel like they know when you want them to talk because
for sure.
her, like if I'm talking to my boyfriend, like she'll yap back, or I'll look at her and be like, "LB, how are you doing?" And she'll like yap.
Yeah.
But if I'm like either filming her or I'm trying to get her to respond to something funny, she'll just look at me like
Not today.
No.
Not going viral for free.
I know what you
it's
want,
true.
and I will not be doing it simply to spite you.
No, literally. She's so sassy. I feel like girl cats are like,
They're a little for sure, a little sassy. That's like a part of their charm, though. I would not
I
change
love
it.
it.
Yeah,
No, me either.
I'm like, oh, even when they're being bad, I'm like, you're so cute. I love you.
they're so cute. That's the thing. Girl cats, I think, are smarter. Like, I don't know. I have a boy cat, and I had another boy cat before, but my boy cat, like,
He's Cheeto? No.
Cheeto, yeah. I don't think there's much between those eyes. Like, he's so cute, but like, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, and I understand why my girl cat looks at him like that all the time. Sometimes he'll be doing something and LB's just on the couch and she'll be like,
she's
so
judging.
funny.
She's not saying anything, but
she's just like confused.
I
If
saw
you-
a tweet that said
yeah.
if they ever saw a boy cat, if they were a cat and ever saw the boy cat get the zoomies, it would be the biggest ick.
Oh my god,
That's your cat.
that's my cat because he does get the zoomies and she's on the couch like she's also 9 and he's 1.5.
Mm.
So he's in his insane age
Oh my goodness.
right now.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's not very bright. Like I feel like I'll call him over. He doesn't understand that. LB, like if I call her, she comes over.
Oh, cute.
Like she's
okay.
very like if you point at something, she's like, oh yeah,
she
that's
investigates.
yeah.
Wow.
You're like,
yeah.
come on the couch.
Yeah.
He literally just stares at you. He's like,
It's like,
I feel that way
don't
with
know.
dogs too, like female dogs versus male dogs. Maybe it's just
Mhm.
like clearly male humans too, but I'm like, no, let's not dig too far into
no,
this.
I don't.
That's not, no.
I don't think so.
But I'm always like, often it's like the boy dog that just kind of looks kind of dumb, and then versus like, yeah, I don't know. I'm maybe biased because I only have female dogs.
I had my dog Tristan, and he was an Australian Shepherd, very smart breed, but he was a very dopey dog. I mean, he was still
Lovable,
smart,
lovable,
lovable,
little dopey.
So lovable.
and he learned like commands fast and stuff, but he was just like kind of dopey and like trip into things and run into things. And
Walk into the door.
Oh yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, you're definitely like a boy dog.
That's literally Cheeto. Like my boy cat yesterday ran into the tub because he's obsessed with the tub. It's his favorite part of the day. It's like if I open the shower, he runs.
Does he like the water? Does he like baths?
He's very strange because he doesn't like getting wet, but he loves going in the tub when the shower's on. So the shower will be on and he'll like go to like the back side of it. So the water doesn't hit him, but he'll just kind of be like,
Oh.
Oh,
there.
Interesting.
Yesterday he ran trying to hop on the ledge, but didn't jump high enough. So he
Smacked
just, like,
into it?
Smacked into the tub.
Oh my gosh.
And then he was so embarrassed. You could see he was embarrassed because he didn't even like try to jump back. He just kind of like looked at it and just left the bathroom. Like,
Oh, he was like
slowly.
Nothing happened there. Wasn't even trying to do that.
When you guys trip when you're walking on the sidewalk, do you like look back at it? Do you do that thing where you like look back at it? Like what could that have possibly been?
No,
you
not
just
anymore.
keep
Now
going?
I try and keep going. Yeah, exactly.
I
Like
try
what
and
she
keep
does.
going
I'm
too.
like,
don't even
don't
acknowledge
even-
that it happened?
yeah. I'm like, no. I meant to do that
Yeah.
actually.
I just do a little dance when I walk.
yeah.
I
sometimes-
trip over the sidewalk so much. Like, it's actually crazy. I've not broken a bone. Like, honestly, I'm gonna knock on wood. Those little
too.
tiny, like, when it's, like, raised by, like, an inch.
That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough
Take
to...
you out.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not an athlete.
No, I've never.
Can
been
you guys? I know
hand-eye
you can't really catch. Can you catch?
coordinated. Okay.
Catch. Like if I were to throw a object at you guys right now.
mean.
Yeah, I think I can.
You can?
I think I'm a good catcher. Like, but I think that must be from when I played volleyball as a kid, but that's it. But then, like,
mhm.
I'm the odd one out in my family. Like, my sisters my sister and my stepsister literally run marathons. They run marathons.
Wow.
Real deal athletes.
Yeah, they just did the, like, I don't know what it is, the one that, like, where you go in mud and stuff.
Oh, Tough Mudder. No,
Yeah.
or Iron Man?
I think I don't know if it's Iron Man. I don't know. I don't keep
Yeah.
up with those.
You're like, I'm out on mud.
It's something where they're running.
Like, they're out running a marathon in the mud. I am watching Drag Race in bed.
Yeah.
Like, it's like very different people.
Yeah, we're living different lives.
Yeah. But they're literally doing all of that, and the athletic jeans did not hit me.
Yeah.
Like, I've never felt like it's not in my bucket list to run a
too.
marathon. Like,
Right.
it's
You're fine to
Same.
just watch
I'm fine to
people do
die
it.
that way. Like,
Yeah, I'll die in bed, thanks.
like I'll die without running a marathon in my life. And
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
there are things like that, like Mount Everest. Like part of me would like to climb it, but then I'm like, I don't love the idea of dying either from like a brain aneurysm or an avalanche or falling
Why
through a
brain
crevasse.
aneurysm?
I guess because the altitude,
It's
it's like a hemorrhage. They have like a word for it. It's a certain thing that happens to some people, and you don't really know till you get there whether you have that. So it's like, but that's pretty much the three ways people die always on Mount Everest: avalanche, falling through a crevasse, or this brain hemorrhage thing. So I'm like, I don't love either of those options.
I think that's insane. I don't know why
I-
people would do that.
I'm gonna have a controversial yet brave opinion right now.
Okay.
Yet brave.
Get brave.
Why are you doing that? Like straight up. There's no reason. There's no reason. Nobody cares. Like, and I'm saying this like
Nobody
cares.
no one cares. Like, what are you trying to prove? Like, I'm saying this like so for real right now.
Yeah, it's like
What-
just do the safe thing.
Like, go climbing, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go climbing.
Walk over the sidewalk. Step on the inch.
Yeah.
Go on a mountain. That's normal. Like, I don't understand this. Like the Everest thing.
Yeah,
Is,
I'm
like,
life-threatening stuff is like not for me either. Yeah.
Would you two go on a submarine?
no.
Yeah, submarine looks like it. And again, same thing. I wouldn't want to die that way, either getting
No.
crushed by
Oh my
pressure
God.
or drowning if something goes wrong. If
That-
I'm going to do an activity, I
It's
want
so
to
scary
be
to me.
like comfortable dying. It's like, okay, if I'd be okay with how.
I don't want to talk about dying anymore.
No. No, but it's true. It's like, I don't know. Like, for me, if somebody were to tell me, like, I just don't understand the logic. Like, somebody's
Yeah.
telling you can get a brain aneurysm, you can fall through a crevasse.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very fancy word.
It is very different.
Ooh, a crevasse.
That crevice.
Yeah.
How obtuse. The crevasse was so droll.
No, but literally, I'm like, you can get an aneurysm, you can fall through this, or you can, freeze, you said?
Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot about that. You could freeze
Yeah, you
to death.
could get
Oh, there's a
hypothermia.
fourth.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
freeze, and then there was another third one, but I forgot.
Avalanche?
Avalanche.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is like drowning in snow. Also
Yeah.
not a fun way to
Not a
go.
fun way to
Yeah.
go. So, those are all your options. And
I'm sure there's
you're
a third
looking at
option.
that, and you're thinking, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's my goal.
That's
No.
crazy.
Bad news, guys. Tear down the set. We're going to Mount Everest. It's right behind us.
Surprise!
Yeah.
We're going. No, I don't know either. I even marathons. I've never been like, yeah, I need to like run and bike and swim as hard as I can forever.
Oh, like a triathlon.
triathlon or
yeah.
what? Yeah. Oh
No.
yeah, marathon, whatever. It is. I don't know.
You're like, I don't even care what the difference is.
I
I'm not
don't know
doing
what
it.
it is. I'm not
No.
doing any of that.
Dude, it's just not. And I respect it.
Yeah, for sure.
I respect it. It's just not in my personal bucket list.
I feel.
But
the same.
Taylor Swift was.
Oh my god, yeah.
And
Of
did she
course.
throw things into the crowd? Did she throw friendship bracelets or?
No, she didn't throw anything. It was. I've never Oh no, wait, I have. I've been to 2 stadium concerts before, but this was the only one I truly cared about.
The other one was the Wiggles.
No, the other one was Luke Bryan and Lady Gaga I went to, but it was such a last minute purchase.
Oh, okay.
It was so fun, but this one
I'm
was
so
amazing.
jealous.
Like, she's such a great performer. Also,
Mhm.
3.5 hours of her
That's
on
That's
stage.
crazy.
She plays 45 songs
So did she play
Wow.
all the hits, all the ones?
from every album.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you
It's
get your
insane.
money's worth on the Eras tour. Your
Oh.
$19,000 money's worth or whatever. Could have posted
I honestly, I'm not gonna say how much it was because that's crazy, but I
more than a trip to Mount Everest.
I'll tell you guys off the record.
Okay, off the record.
No, but
we won't say.
I didn't buy the ticket.
Oh, nice. Okay.
My boyfriend surprised me because I had entered every single giveaway.
Oh, you did?
I did. And then, so Rogers was doing this thing where, if you found the guy with the sequin blazer walking downtown Toronto,
Mhm.
you would get 2 free tickets. I left my house when I saw that post. I walked around 2-degree weather
Hunting.
for 6 hours.
No.
Yes, for 6 hours. I was freezing.
Looking around,
Looking around for the sequin jacket man. And then my boyfriend saw me. He met me at a park. He was like, where are you? I was like, at a park. He came to meet me. He was like, are you not freezing? He was like, what's up? He was like, I was like, I'm going to wait till 3 to see if I can find them. He was like, okay. I think he felt so bad that I literally, guys, I was insane. Yeah. I have tickets. For 6 hours, I was walking around in the cold.
This is your Mount Everest.
That's crazy.
You would have died falling through a crevasse or suffocating or brain hemorrhage to find Swift tickets.
Like an uneven sidewalk, hypothermia.
You just needed the right motivation, and it was T-Swizzle.
Honestly, I wouldn't even do that for
if there was a Taylor Swift ticket at the top of Mount Everest.
Ooh.
I would never see Taylor Swift.
The love for Taylor Swift does not encompass.
Does not. No. No. Here's the thing too. You also have to like wake up super early. To like, can you imagine? No,
yeah.
I'm not a morning girl.
That's what's stopping you.
You're like,
no, that's not. There's many reasons. But,
right.
But I'm just like, at this point,
But that's
I'm
a
like,
big one.
There's not like a single appealing reason to me.
Right.
To climb
Planting
Mount
the flag
Everest.
is not enough. Taking the selfie.
You know what, dude? I'll wait for the great blizzard
And do the same thing.
and do the same thing and
Just
moments.
pretend.
Like, who's
Great
gonna know?
Photoshopper.
Yeah.
Just get
There
it
you
done.
How would they know?
Did Taylor start with her country stuff and then work her way to her modern? So it was kind of in order
It
of
was in
watching
order.
her.
Wow, that's so cool.
Right.
It was in order. It was amazing. It was so beautiful. Yo, my ADHD is so bad because how did we start talking about like I just remember that I was like, I've never cried at a concert, and then we started talking about Mount Everest.
It's okay. We love Taylor Swift and Mount Everest.
Yeah,
But-
it all makes sense. It's a flow.
Yeah,
It's a
it
free
was
form.
the energy, like honestly, the female energy. It was crazy. It
Yeah.
was like being in a room filled with girls,
Yeah.
all dressed so pretty, everybody with their makeup.
I've never
Yeah.
felt more like I've ruined this podcast than right now.
No,
You know, none
None of the male energy.
Like the stupid dogs.
You know what it felt like? It felt like the Barbie movie again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because you know
That's
what?
so nice,
Everybody was
yeah.
going like dressed in pink to the Barbie
Yeah,
movie. Like it
yeah.
was so cute. That's what it felt like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
To bring it back to the first podcast.
Yeah, to bring it back. Oh, yes. And with that, let me do a little introduction. Welcome back to Steele My Story. I'm your host, Alexa Steele. Haha, get it? It's my name. This is my host, my co-host.
This is my host.
This is my host.
That sounds like I'm growing your organs or something.
This is my organ host and
Yeah.
donor, Ian Fisher.
Her appendix is coming along nicely.
This is the podcast where we have a guest on to tell one true story and one stolen story. Ooh. And we have a wonderful
We can't
guest
afford a sound
on.
effects guy.
Yeah.
It's
It's just me. We have a wonderful guest on who was actually our very first guest on my podcast before this podcast. Different podcast idea. Dani Donayre. She is an actress from Toronto. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you
on
for having
again.
us. So excited.
Welcome back to the studio.
Welcome back. My very first podcast before this was like kind of talking about movies. I wasn't really sure what idea I wanted to do, but we had Dani on and we talked about the Barbie movie. I'll insert some clips. Ian was dressed great, exactly like Ken.
It was
and
so good.
Oh, that's true. The fur coat.
the fur
Yes.
coat. It was,
And the glasses. I think you had
I think
to.
I did. Yeah. I
You
was
did.
fully committed.
and the horse hat would have been perfect. You didn't have the horse hat then.
It's
but
evolved. It's all come a long way.
It's all come
It's
along.
still Barbie Easter eggs, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an ode.
It
Yeah.
is an
First
ode.
episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a throwback. It's a little, yeah, totally.
Mojo Dojo.
And even
Cocktail
like,
House.
it's a little tied because last week on the show, or 2 weeks ago, Boa, the drag queen,
yeah.
had tricked us for his story with a fake Taylor Swift picture saying that he went to the Eras tour, went to her hotel.
Yeah, I went to her hotel and met Taylor Swift.
Oh my
It was
God.
such a good Photoshop. Like I saw that picture on his Instagram like the day before, and I was like, "Wow, oh my gosh, he met Taylor Swift." That's so
I saw it,
awesome.
but I knew it was fake.
You did?
Oh my God!
You know why? Because I knew that was Taylor Swift at TIFF 2 years ago.
You were
Oh,
such a
like
fan
you
that you
knew
could
that-
pinpoint.
I could pinpoint it.
Wow.
I said that's the outfit she wore for the TIFF Q&A.
Danny's
Oh
like an
my
AI
gosh.
scanner. She can like trace the origin of
Yeah.
an image.
No, it's honestly because I wanted tickets to that TIFF Q&A so bad, and
Oh,
it sold
really?
out immediately.
Mm.
Oh, of course.
So,
yeah.
Then when I rewatched it, because I think they had it like on YouTube. When I rewatched it, I saw her outfit, and
That's
I just
funny.
remembered. I was like, "Oh, that's Photoshop."
Well, we could have needed you on the show last week.
We
You could have
needed
helped us.
you and your expertise.
Yeah.
I would have told you.
It's true. But here we are now. Things have changed, and you're the liar today.
I am the liar
You
today.
are the liar today.
Oh,
Ooh, exciting. We only have liars and sociopaths on this show, of course. Because they match us so well.
Not sociopath.
No. Of course not. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm very excited to hear some stories today. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First story. See, my sound effects coming in again.
Okay. So.
It did feel like we were suddenly like a camp counselor,
Yeah, I'm
like
like,
about to hear the
okay.
ghost story.
Let's hear
Okay.
ghost story.
So, my first story.
Mm-hmm.
I was in what? Grade 7?
Throwing it back. Ready.
Yeah. It feels crazy because I feel like I say grade 7.
Yeah.
And in my brain, I'm like, grade 7. And then I'm like, oh my god, grade 7. That was me. She's like, oh.
How long ago was
Right,
that?
I
If
know.
take too long to think about it, I'm like, that was actually very crazy a long time ago.
When you do the math, I know.
Yeah.
I don't
but
want to do the math.
I was
right
I must have been in grade 7 because I was living in Ecuador.
now. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm originally from Ecuador. So
Right. When did you move?
I moved to Canada in 2014.
Wow.
It's actually coming to 10 years since I moved to Toronto in January.
Wow. And did you first move to Toronto?
I lived in Ottawa for 6 months.
Oh,
Because
okay.
my aunt lived in Ottawa. So I was living with her
nice.
until I kind of figure out what I wanted, where I
Right.
wanted to go to school.
The Miami of Canada.
The Miami of Canada. Truthfully. Ottawa is the Everest of Canada.
Bad weather, cold.
Bad weather, cold.
Cold.
No, also many crevasses.
Many
crevasses.
No, but I went to Ottawa and then I moved here after. But
Nice.
I was living in Ecuador at the time because I did grade 7 and 8 in Ecuador and then I did high school in Panama.
Oh, cool.
Like 30
Wow.
second, 30
Oh my
second
gosh.
recap. But I was living in Ecuador at the time and my mom had this best friend
Mm-hmm.
whose daughters were my same age
Mhm.
and my sister got along with us too. So we kind of grew up together.
Mm.
So we would always hang out.
Yeah.
And we went to their grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kids. So we're doing dumb things.
Yeah, of course.
So we're at her grandma's house and I don't know what it is about South American grandma's houses, but they're kind of creepy. Why? No, it's creepy. Why do you have okay, I don't mean this in an offensive way, I really don't. But as a child or even as a 13-year-old, I don't want to see Jesus on the cross.
I knew it was gonna be Jesus.
suffering.
Yes.
Suffering face on the wall. Because that's scary.
It's true. There were a lot of I mean my family's Filipino, so I feel like they're also really hardcore
There's
Catholics.
a lot of intertwining.
There is a lot, yeah, and there is a lot of the icons are very realistic of this man nailed to the cross. Well, this man
Yeah.
Jesus, but I'm
Yeah.
just he's bleeding in pain and,
his
crying.
face is yeah, and
I'm
it's
oh.
it's honestly, I prefer the more cherub looking Jesus ones. Have you seen that? It was he's has very
He's on the he's crucified, but he's smiling.
No. It's just him. It's him like this. He's not crucified.
He's
just
a little.
He's it's more like a saint portrait.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are fine.
Yeah.
But I'm anyway. So there was that.
Yeah.
On the staircase, because the way that their house was set up was there was a big dining room, and then you would go up the staircase to the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
But all these. Their grandma's house was similar to my grandma's house. My grandma's Russian, but my grandpa
Oh, interesting.
loves art, and he had a lot of religious art.
Mm-hmm.
Not even for religious reasons. He just has a lot of art from many different time periods.
Nice. I like that. He's just a collector.
Yeah. As a child, scary.
Just a lot of clown pictures.
Oh my god, no, imagine. No. But they do have this huge angel painting in the living room till now that is huge. Maybe 1.5 meters by half a meter, very long. And it's this white angel. The whole thing is painted kind of white and grayscale. And then the background is black and his wings are black. And at night, the paint reflect. It's scary. Anyways, that's not the point because this is not the same house. But
just another terrifying memory.
Another terrifying memory. And then
They're all jumping out at the same time.
But we were at their house and we were in the dining room table. And behind us, there was this cabinet filled with china. Because that's also a thing grandmas have. These glass
there
cabinets
is
filled with
so much
and
china.
use once a year,
China.
maybe, or maybe never.
No, those plates, I've never seen them come out of
No,
the China.
I never saw.
You just leave them in a will. They only exist to be given away.
No,
and like
literally.
they're not even. I don't know if they're even expensive.
I have
Like,
no idea.
I don't think they are.
And sometimes there's also like the cabinets, like the glass cabinets that have like decorations too. So there's like plates on like plate holders, so you can see the design of the plate.
Right? Yeah, tilted up. I can see that.
And that's something that like honestly millennial economy could never do, because what do you mean you have space to put a plate on a thing? Like
I know. I'm like,
millennials could never dream about that.
You have just decoration plates? Like, we only have eating plates.
Yeah.
And they're paper at this
And
point.
one has a chip on it, like, and I haven't replaced it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and they're from IKEA. Like,
And they're from IKEA.
They can
from
afford the little
Goodwill.
stands. We can't even afford eggs out here.
Yeah.
What's going
No.
on?
Oh my
eggs are
gosh.
$8.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're there, and I've always been obsessed with like ghosts
Oh my gosh.
and that kind of stuff. Always, my whole life. And we were at their house, and me being the oldest, I was only a year older than them, but I always had like very like much older energy. I feel.
Yeah, okay.
But I was like, oh, like we should tell scary stories. I was always that kid. I was the kid that was like,
Oh,
"Tell
of
scary
course.
stories.
The no
Oh my
fear of ghost
gosh.
kid?
No fear
Or-
of ghost kid.
Ugh.
Like I was like, we should tell scary stories.
Oh my god,
and
I'm terrified of ghosts.
We all started telling scary stories, and then we were saying like, oh, you know, like they were like, oh, I don't think ghosts are real, whatever. And then their cousin was saying like, actually, ghosts like can sometimes be demonic. She was old,
No,
way older than us. So
yeah.
I think she was probably like messing with us.
Probably, yeah.
So then we were like, okay, whatever. And we started playing this game that I didn't know how to play, but it was called like the tabletop or something. And it's like depending on like you had a glass, and like depending on like where the glass like moved, you would get your answer.
Okay.
So it's
like a
not
Ouija?
like a
Ouija?
Yeah, almost like a Ouija, but it wasn't a Ouija.
Okay.
So we started playing, and like
Oh no.
we all had like, you know, like our
Yeah, your hands on there.
and we're like asking like, is there anybody here? And
Oh no.
and like we're all like, I don't know how I feel about these things, honestly, because I think when you're in a group, somebody's gonna move it.
Yeah, but,
It's-
well,
it's like,
okay, that's always a possibility for
Yeah,
sure.
so I feel like somebody's definitely moving it. So we're like moving it, whatever. Okay. And we're starting to get scared because we're also like 13, like 12 to 13 is like the
Mhm,
age range. And my sister, who like was like what, 10, like so we're all doing that, and it starts to get like scary. And then I'm like, wait, doesn't it feel cold?
Stop.
But I started to feel cold. I
Oh.
did, because it's like so scary. So I started to feel cold, and I was like, okay, well, and we're like, is there anything here? And I'm not kidding. We literally hear like a, and we're like, okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah, like no.
That's terrifying. No, thank you. No, thank you.
It was like a clap or like a bang.
Like a
in the-
bang.
in another room or in the room.
I honestly don't remember like where it was, but it was in the house. Like we heard a
okay.
bang. But the thing is, like, it made no sense from where, because their grandpa was sleeping in the upstairs room,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were downstairs, and her like they had a clothing store beside their house
Mhm.
that they owned.
Mm-hmm.
So her grandma was working there.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just like,
Alone.
we heard this bang, and we're like, okay, sick. And you would think that we would stop,
Oh no!
but now we're kind of like, okay, well, what if there's more? So we keep playing, and we're like, you know, asking like, we're also asking things that you shouldn't ask. You know,
Of
we're
course.
we're not being like, tell us your name. We're being like, was that you? Like, show us more.
Yeah.
This is also all in Spanish
Oh,
because
okay.
we were back home, but we were like, was that you? And then the thing moved to yes. I
Was the older girl still playing with you? Or
Yeah.
no? Okay.
So
okay.
like I'm not convinced.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm also like, that bang, I can't explain.
Right.
And then we were playing and playing and playing. And then we kept playing. And they got scarier. Like,
Yeah.
it just kind of, because it gets scarier the longer you do it. When you start concentrating, even if the three of us just sat here right now
Mhm.
and like really concentrated on it, and we're like, okay, are there any spirits
No,
here?
let's
like, you know
not
what I
do
mean?
that,
Like, no,
actually.
let's not do that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, if you
Yeah.
start to like
Yeah, if you're
relax
concentrating
and
on
kind
it,
of
for
like
sure.
concentrate on it,
Mhm.
it becomes eerie.
Yeah.
It's even a little scary, like in Spanish too. The little kids all whispering in Spanish
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
No, it is. And we're all like in Spanish history, like, ese fuiste tú. So anyway, then we keep playing it. And then, I kid you not, one of the freaking plates in that cabinet breaks.
No,
Yeah.
like falls forward, like breaks
falls
in the
forward
cabinet.
and breaks in the cabinet. Yeah.
Stop. We should have had you on for our Halloween episodes. That's so scary.
Next year.
Next year.
Next Halloween.
Yeah, we'll have you on again. Get your Halloween
Get some
stories
more
ready.
childhood trauma.
Yeah. I was actually struggling because I was like, I have so many stories. But yeah, this one, it breaks. And then I honestly just think we'd stop playing. Like, we stopped playing, we left, and we were like, that's
You're
actually
like,
so
that's it.
scary.
That ended
That's
the game?
so scary. That
Yeah.
ended the game. We stopped playing.
Well,
I don't remember the game exactly because I remember so clearly being like, okay, it wasn't the Ouija board. We were playing with a cup on like a table.
it was like a makeshift.
It was like a
yeah.
makeshift thing. Like,
Yeah.
the thing too, it's like, I don't even know if their cousin like made it up. Like, I don't know if Amy literally was like, oh, we're gonna play with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So either like there was like a small like earthquake or like something like
A coincidence.
or like
right.
or I don't know, maybe there was like construction on top or something happened that like
Right.
made like the loud noise
Mm-hmm.
and then this plate shatter.
Did your older
Oh my
cousin look
gosh.
scared too? Like, let's say she was pranking you, made up the game.
Yeah.
And then maybe had a friend downstairs who could hit the wall.
Yeah.
But when the plate exploded, did she look really freaked out as well?
She was okay with it. She was like kind of like not super terrified.
She's
But
like,
I-
I'm 10. I've
but I
seen ghosts a
also-
lot.
She was okay, she was older than us, but not that much older. So she was my friend's cousin. And Amy must be like, I think she was like 18. I think she was 18 because I remember her moving to Quito. She was from the coast of Ecuador. She moved to Quito, like the capital, and was living with her grandma to go to school.
Mhm.
So she was living there. She must have been 18 because it was like at the beginning of her moving. And I can't remember how scared she was. I remember all of us being scared and just like being like, nah, screw that.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like, talked about it and we were like, oh, and then their mom was like, oh, I don't think it's like anything crazy that happened,
Just a plate shattering.
And then I told my mom and my mom was like, you shouldn't play with that stuff. Because my mom actually had to get like her house blessed as a kid because she was hearing laughter.
What?
Okay.
But that's another story.
Okay, that's another story. Save that for next
Save
Halloween.
that for
I want to know
Halloween.
that story.
But
Right?
in the car ride, maybe. But so she was just like, you shouldn't play with that stuff. And then we kind of left it and we never did anything like that again. Like, I only ever played. I played with spirit stuff. I
They summon demons.
Yeah, I only ever did that again once with a friend in her dorm. She had a Ouija board and we tried it for like a sec. And then I was like, honestly, I hate this.
Honestly?
I was like,
No.
honestly, I hate this. Like, I have no interest.
Oh, okay.
Like, I have no... It's not that I wasn't scared of ghosts growing up. I found it very interesting. Like, I used to read a lot of ghost stories and, like, paranormal shows I enjoyed. But I would never... I just don't think the risk of opening whatever could be open is worth it. Like, if it's not real, whatever. But then if it is? What if it is then?
I know. Well, even like...
I'm like that, too. I'm kind of like, I don't want to open any doors I can't close.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Alexa
though.
even doesn't like being in this studio alone.
Stop.
I wouldn't like it either.
No.
I don't like being in my house alone.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, we live in an apartment and I'm still like, oh, what if?
I'm now realizing the
Yeah.
cat's only there to like protect you, to keep you company.
Pretty much. My cat's
Yeah.
just there to like, for me.
The worst is when dogs or cats start looking at like blank, like empty space and they're just staring. They're like, and you're like, please stop because what are you looking at?
What are you
Why are you
seeing?
looking
Or when the dogs start whispering in Spanish about the devil, it's
Oh
always
my
very creepy.
god.
Oh my god. No.
Wow.
But-
So then, and then so that was it. The plate was exploded, and
Yeah,
then
and
it
you
was
just
like,
were
we're like,
like-
all right, we're done.
Yeah,
at
we're
this.
done. We're
After
done.
the play, yeah, that's a good time to cut it off.
We cut it off, and then
When physical things start exploding.
Exploding and knocking over in cabinets. I'm like,
it didn't explode. It like fell over and shattered.
Oh my god.
So it wasn't like a
Right.
It was like a.
yeah,
Okay,
like
got
it like fell over. So there might be a realistic explanation, but they're also
I mean, I've never even the things in there don't
Might
move
not
at all.
be-
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like those cabinets are so untouched.
Unless your friend's cousin had like a Scooby-Doo like
Yeah,
system where like some
literally.
dental floss pulled.
I know, that's so true. Not a Scooby-Doo. I love that, a Scooby-Doo system.
I love Scooby-Doo. Okay. Let's poke some holes. It's time.
Do it.
Like, I'm ready.
Right.
Okay. I wonder, because there's like, it's so funny when it's like the contradiction of like having the like religious icon, religious like crosses everywhere, and then there's still like scary ghost stuff happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's terrifying to me.
What was the goal, I guess?
Honestly, I think the goal was probably what happened, but I just don't think we wanted it.
Break grandma's plates.
No, but like, you know what I mean? I think,
Like
for
to see
us,
something.
yeah, it was to get scared, to like have fun. Like,
Yeah.
I was always the let's tell scary stories girl. So I think for me, I was like, let's tell scary stories.
After that, were you still the Let's Tell Scary Stories?
Yeah, I'm not
You
lying.
were.
I still was. Like, the let's tell scary stories never went away, but I don't mess a lot.
Right. Okay.
Anymore.
You don't mess with the Ouija or the
No,
question
anymore.
asking anymore.
Doesn't
Fair.
mess with the Ouija or Mount Everest.
Yeah.
No.
Take those off the list.
But if you're wearing
the
sequins-
Ouija on Mount Everest.
Yeah, Ouija on. Oh my gosh, I bet Mount Everest is haunted as hell.
Oh, so haunted.
So haunted.
Oh, because there's dead bodies everywhere. I love that we keep coming back to Mount
Why
Everest.
would you say that?
Because you can't take them off the
I
mountain.
know, but why would you say
Oh my god,
that?
that's also the thing too why I would never go. Like, so sorry, it's tangent, very quick tangent.
No, yeah.
I would never go because then if you do end up dying, your family can't even mourn you. Like, you're just being selfish at this point. You know what? Controversial and brave. If you go on Mount Everest, I judge you.
I judge you.
Unless you're a Sherpa and you're working,
Right.
and that's your job.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
I don't judge you. But if you are doing that for leisure and pleasure,
Mhm.
Leisure.
judge you.
A nice leisurely stroll up Mount
Leisurely
Everest.
stroll.
like as an activity,
Yeah, it is crazy that the Sherpas go up and like we watched Nim's his documentary
14 Peaks.
14 Peaks, and it is crazy. They go up and they put up all the lines for everybody and like so dangerous. It's crazy. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Another tangent.
Yeah, no, I like the shout out to the Sherpas because, yeah, you're right. They're badasses.
they are. They
They're
really
badasses for doing that with no lines. They go up by themselves. I doubt they have any oxygen tanks or anything like that. They're just like hoofing it up there, and
Yeah.
then everybody else kind of climbs up after them and gets all the glory.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with that.
are. Yeah. We should our home
Let
podcast
me-
just Mount Everest.
Just takes hot
We-
takes on Mount Everest.
You know what? Forget these stories. Let's go on back to Mount Everest.
It's a new podcast, Hot Takes on Cold Mountains.
No, literally.
And
That's gonna be my podcast.
There you go. Take that. You can use our studio. We'll just change this up.
Amazing.
Okay, let me see. I don't know. I mean, I don't have any holes to pick. I kind of asked my one question of like where did the bang happen? Was it like nighttime? No. Okay.
It was around like 5.
Oh, okay. So like daytime-ish.
Yeah.
Should we
Day
start to
sunset.
summon a demon here to see if it freaks her
Absolutely not.
Stop.
out? Okay. Don't worry.
What if it
actually
follows
terrified.
us?
True.
True.
I live in a
Okay.
1-bedroom. There's no space.
You're like, I don't have any room for
For a
anything to
demon.
follow me.
room.
And I have to buy more eggs.
What if it eats my what if it drinks my milk and eats
What
my
if it
eggs?
breaks my only plates? I only have 5 and one of them's chips.
That's how you know we're in an economic crisis when your biggest fear is that it's going to be more expensive to have a ghost roommate.
Yeah.
I can't leave this place. The rent is too expensive
Yeah.
in Toronto.
Yeah.
Please.
This is rent controlled, please. Like, do not make me move.
Don't make me leave. Okay. I'm pretty good. I don't have any other questions. I'm ready for second story if you're
Okay.
ready to tell it.
Seamless transition out.
Story number 2.
Woo!
Okay. Story number 2. I was in high school.
Okay. Whoa. Time skip. Love it.
Time skip. Yeah. Grade 7 to high school. Not crazy, but enough.
Yeah.
So I was in grade 9 I was 15. Grade 10 I was 6. I was in grade 11. I
Okay.
was in grade 11. I was in grade 11.
That was a
And-
fun year.
It was, you know what? Okay, controversially and brave opinion. I loved high school. I don't care. I had the best time in high school.
Yeah.
I also did it in Panama, so like we were
That's
like
cool.
it was like hot all the time, and like
Yeah.
I went to an international school, so everybody was from different places,
Cool.
and my friend group was so good. I'm still friends with them now. Like, but they all live in different
that's
countries.
Great. Yeah.
So, hot take.
I think that's
I
a good
love high
I
school.
really liked my high school too. I switched to like an art school in my grade 10 year, and I met a lot of same thing. I met a lot of my good friends, and just like it was a really fun experience. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Let's go back.
No, that's okay. Tangents. But I was in grade 11. It must have been because it was at the age where people were driving. So I wasn't driving, but my best friend Nikki in high school, she lived 2 buildings away from me, and it was amazing because we were there like at each other's place all the time.
Yeah.
And then later on, she ended up moving to my building 4 floors up.
What?
And that was the best.
Oh my gosh.
But at the time that this happened, she lived 2 buildings away.
Yeah.
And her parents went away on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to her place
Mm-hmm.
just to chill. We were going to make cupcakes.
Cute.
Like straight up.
Yeah.
She was like, do you want to come over and make Oreo cupcakes?
Oh.
And we had an Oreo obsession phase.
No,
we were
yeah.
only eating Oreo ice cream and making
like,
Oreo
so
cupcakes
fair.
and making Oreo milkshakes.
Only
It was
eating
really-
it like you're 100% of your diet?
100% of
no,
diet
like-
is Oreos.
Every time we hung out, we were making Oreo things. It was very weird. And then she was like, you want to come over and make cupcakes? I was like, okay, let's go. Go over. And then Nikki was chaos. Okay, I love her so much. She was chaos in high school.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit more like goody two-shoes, so I think we made a really good match because
Okay,
we would do fun things. But then I would also bring it back and be like, that's actually too insane. You literally made me
Yeah,
shouldn't
you're
do
like,
that.
actually, let's not do that.
Actually,
And
let's
she's like,
not do that.
you're right.
Yeah.
An Oreo turkey? This is crazy.
hey,
It's
girl,
Thanksgiving.
relax.
So I was like, okay, I go over. I get there. We start like making the cupcakes. And then she's like, wait, do you want to take my car for a drive? And I was like, do you know how to drive? And she's like, well, yeah, I've driven a little. Like, let's just take it.
Well, yeah.
She was like, let's just take it like around like the, how do you call like the
Roundabout or cul-de-sac?
No. Yeah, the cul-de-sac. So she was like, let's just go like around that. And I was like, okay. I don't know. Sometimes I said yes. Sometimes I'm surprised I didn't die with her. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. But I was like, okay, cool, sure. So we go downstairs. We take her parents' car. Her parents are on vacation.
Oh, no.
We take her parents' car. We go downstairs. Take it. Hope the guard of the parking lot like doesn't see us because it was an apartment building. So there was like a guard
Yeah.
at the exit. So we're just
Right.
he doesn't see that it's Nikki in the car. Drive it around.
Yeah.
And then she goes, okay, let's just go to the mall. And that's it. She's like, just to the mall and that's it.
She's pushing you
Yeah,
a
she's
little
pushing
bit
me
further.
further. She's like, just to the mall and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
We're already in the car.
I'm already in the car. Fine. I was like, to the mall and then we come back.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually crazy now that I think about it because I'm like, it's like not that safe of a drive because my apartment was here and the street to get to the mall, like the mall was like literally a 4-minute drive. But there's like a little bridge. And we were in the car. You have to go past the bridge and there's like a highway entry towards the street.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of crazy because you could have like a car hit you if you're not a good driver and you don't like know how quickly to like move past that part. Now in hindsight I'm scared. But we made it to the mall. We got to the mall. We don't hop out at the mall or anything. We just like get to the parking lot. And then I'm like, okay, like let's go back home.
Oh my gosh, you didn't even go into the mall?
No, because I don't even think she knew how to park, dude. Like, I'm
Oh
not
my
gonna lie.
gosh.
It's like the movie Speed. She's just driving
Yeah,
around,
like, I
keeping it.
don't think she
She's
knew how
like,
to park.
let's just do donuts in the parking lot.
I don't think she knew how to park. So we're like, okay. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Didn't even know how to park. No.
She calls my friend Kuchi, who was like another one of our friends. It was like 3 of us all the time. So she calls her and is like, do you want to come over? We'll pick you up. And I'm like, oh my God. We'll pick you up.
I don't know how to
"This
stop the
kid-
car,
Yeah, I
though.
can't stop the car though, so you just
Are
have
you
to run
fast?
inside.
I could have walked home from the mall, but I was like, bro, this just keeps escalating. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I think we should go home.
Yeah.
At that point, I was getting stressed. I had a bad feeling. I was like,
Mhm.
I think we should just go back home.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how to drive. Like, that's a fact.
Did she have her license at this
No!
point?
She didn't have her license. I think her dad had taken her out to drive around a parking lot once or twice, and she was
No.
like, I don't know how to drive. So, like, I'm surprised. I'm here.
Yeah, you made
Like,
it.
frankly.
Wouldn't it be crazy Dani disappears and we realize she's the ghost the whole time.
I was the
She
one
wasn't
that
here?
knocked over the.
Yeah, you were the one. Wow.
I'm actually a Victorian child. Now I'm a Victorian teenager, but
Now you're a
Still
teenager,
18.
young adult. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, in this
We're
story,
talking about high school. Yeah. No. So then, anyway, clearly, I can't really do anything except either get out and walk or stay in the car. So I stay in the car because the frontal lobe's not fully developed yet. So I'm like, okay, fine. We go. Our friend doesn't live in our same area, so like it's Panama City is quite small, and like the area where we lived, like everybody that went to my school kind of lived in the same neighborhoods. There was like Punta Pacifica, which is where we lived, which is here, and then Paitilla was here. They're not far, but it's still not like the same street. Like Nikki lived in my same street, so we're like, okay, we're going, we're driving, we get to my friend's apartment. Okay. Nikki goes, okay, I'm gonna park in the parking lot and we'll wait for Kuchi to come down. Okay, this woman didn't crash the car going from the apartment to the mall, from the mall, past that little bridge again, past a bunch of streets, to my friend's building. You know where she crashes the car? She hits it against a column in the parking lot. Yes.
Trying to park it?
Try to park it.
Oh my gosh.
So she truly didn't know how to park it.
No, she didn't know how to park. She crashes it into a column.
Oh.
Her parents are out of town.
Yeah.
Like out of the country.
How big was the dent?
No, like the piece that needs to be replaced. Like it was huge. So we're there and we're like, okay. My friend Kuchi comes downstairs and we're like, we have a problem.
Hey, there's a problem.
Now, I will say that friend loaded. So she had a driver. This is all part of it. Like it's necessary
Kuchi or
information.
Nikki?
Kuchi.
Okay.
She had a driver.
Okay.
Beto, who was our little accomplice with everything. So Kuchi's parents were very strict, so Beto would always like kind of like if we were going to like do a plan and Kuchi couldn't tell her parents what it was,
her driver would
just like drive her there and say he dropped her off somewhere else. Like
oh,
whatever.
nice.
Whoa, that's a solid.
Solid guy.
But he always knew that she was safe.
Right. And he was just like, live your life.
Yeah,
but
live
be
your life.
safe.
He's either a good employee or a bad employee.
No,
I
he
haven't
was a
decided
great
yet.
employee. He was so nice.
Yeah.
He actually came through this time because what happened is we're like, Beto, we need help. And he's like, why? We're like, we crashed the car. First of all, it's crazy that we're saying we.
Right.
Yeah. We. Who's we?
Yeah, so we're like, Beto, we crashed the car. And he's like, oh, no. Niñas. And we're like, we need help. We need to get it fixed. We're like, where can we go that's cheap? That's like not going to be so expensive. And he was like, you're going to need like that whole front piece. So I think it was a Range Rover or a Land Rover. Like it was one of those cars. So it was like, it needed the whole front piece. Like,
oh my God, it must be a fortune.
Removed.
Yeah.
And put back. And we were like, okay, that's crazy. And we're like, where can we find like a cheap place to do it? And he goes, El Chorrillo. Okay, now I'm going to preface this with, El Chorrillo is not a good neighborhood. It's not a good neighborhood to go in general. It's not a good neighborhood to go in a nice car. It's definitely not a good neighborhood to go as a teenage girl.
Who can't drive or park a car.
Who can't drive or park a car, okay? But it's also just, it's just very unsafe. Like, you hear gunshots. Like, it's not a good area in Panama City at all. It is very sketchy. So, especially if you're not from the area, right?
Okay,
like, I guess if you live there, then you kind of know people. Like, but it's not, because just going there is not safe. So, he's like, well, there's a place there that's cheap. It would make sense that there's, like, a cheaper place there. Like, of course, we also couldn't take it to, like, we can't take it to, like... Is he
a good employee sending you to this neighborhood?
So we're like, well, how are we gonna get... He took them.
Oh, okay.
I was... Here's the thing. Because that's where I drew the line.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going. I was like, I'm not going. I'm not going to Chorrillo, guys. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm not going to Chorrillo.
You're like, that's like Mount Everest. I'm not going.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going. And also, somebody needs to stay in the social... Because, okay, Gucci had told her mom that she was going to be in, like, the social area. Okay, so buildings back in Panama have, like... I guess they have that, too, like, here, like, the... Like, área social, which is, like, where the pool is. There's, like, some couches. You can, chill with your friends there. It's, like, a big terrace. So, we were like, okay, we're going to chill there, like, at the terrace. So, Gucci's mom didn't even know she'd left the building. She thought she was at the terrace with us.
Well,
so, I was like... okay, well, somebody needs to stay down here in case Gucci's mom comes down to check on her.
Mm-hmm.
And where's Gucci? I'll just say you guys went to like grab a snack at the store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll lie.
Yeah.
So I stayed downstairs alone on my phone with my BlackBerry, playing fucking ping or something or pong.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. Like I was so bored.
There was no Instagram yet.
Yeah, no, I was so bored. But what was I gonna do? Go to Trio? No.
No.
So anyway, I'm there. I'm chilling. Oh wait, no. Before that, we needed money. I forgot about this part. We needed money for the car. I forgot about this part. Okay, so Gucci goes upstairs, and she goes into the safe.
Whoa.
And I think she took like $300 or something. Like she took like
and for her
money.
friend's car, not even for her.
Wow.
Well, not, like Nikki didn't have money like on her. I didn't have, like, you know what I mean. We're like,
yeah,
16.
you're like, we're gonna pay her back.
yeah, we're like 16, and also back home, like we didn't like none of our friends worked. Like nobody worked and went to high school. Like that wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
that happened. So nobody had like a job and went to school. We all just had like we would go out and our parents would give us money to go out. It was very different. Like it's just different culture that way. Like you, instead of having like, oh, an allowance, it's like your parents are like, okay, well, they won't give you an allowance. But if you're going to go out, they'll be like, okay, you can have this to go out.
right, okay.
So it's like, it's kind of evens out the same way, but none of us had like our money, you know?
Right.
So it was like, I had, I think, $150 that was like from like a birthday or something that I had in my room. So I couldn't grab it then, but I grabbed that after. But Gucci grabbed it directly. She grabbed like $300.
Oh my gosh.
Beto drove the car to get fixed with them and like took them all the way to the place to get the car fixed. I'm waiting there. I'm chilling. I'm like, okay. Hours go by. They come back.
Oh my god.
And they're like, the car is fixed. Great.
Whoa.
Yay. Good. Okay.
And then I actually can't remember if they picked up the car that same day or they had to pick it up the next day. But we went back home. I took those $150.
Did you go back in the car and drive with your friend again? Who was the crash?
No, Beto drove us. Beto drove us. Beto drove. I think Beto was like, you guys can't drive anymore.
You guys are not allowed to
drive.
drive.
And then Beto drove the car back to Nikki's house, but I don't remember if he drove. I can't remember if he drove us in Nikki's car or if he drove the car.
He had to walk
the next
back.
day, like if he drove it back the next day or something. Like, but I'm thinking he probably drove Nikki's car with us. So it would make more sense. Anyway, next day, I grab my money and give it to Nikki. I go over to see Nikki because I see her every day.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that girl every day. We went to school and then we saw each other every day after school. Yeah. So I'm over at Nikki's house. I go to see the car downstairs. It's fixed.
Yeah.
And we both look at each other and we're like, this just looks too new.
Oh, no!
Like, there's no way. Like, the car is dirty and this piece is like not a single speck of dust in it.
So you're like, we gotta rough this shit up.
So we grab a bucket, we grab soil and mix it with water. And splash like mud water all over the front of the car. And then we look at it and we're like, now it's too dirty. So then we literally wash the car.
Oh my god.
But now the whole car is gonna be clean. So what we do? We FaceTime her parents. And we're like, look, we're washing your car.
Aren't we nice? For no reason.
Yeah. So we washed the car.
Oh my gosh.
It was clean. It was fine.
That's even more suspect.
We paid the security guard of the building to not say anything to her parents. Like, I don't remember how much money Nikki gave him. Probably wasn't like crazy. But
yeah, it's like $5.
I think he probably took the money knowing he wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, he's
anyway.
like,
he was like, I don't care, girl.
Okay.
Like, okay.
But I didn't even know you left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know.
And then, like, they come back. They never noticed.
Oh my gosh.
They never noticed.
I would have been so, if I were the parents, I would have been like, why are you washing the car?
Yeah.
And we told them, I can't remember if we told them at our Nikki's graduation dinner, because we all graduated, but her parents took her out to dinner, like us to celebrate her graduation, and they invited me to go with them. So I think we told them together.
Oh my gosh, you did end up telling them.
We did tell them, but
Whoa.
no, we didn't tell them at a graduation dinner. No, she
Mhm.
told them alone. She told her parents alone years later and was like, I told my parents about the car crash. And I was like, oh, I told my mom like months later. I was like, I told her like a few months later. I was
My
like,
mom knows. She's
my mom
been known.
had been knowing. Like, my mom's been knowing, but she never said anything. But she was
Wow.
like, that's crazy.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
Good problem solving though, like for the kids to get it done.
Yeah.
We got it. I mean,
You
honestly,
got it done.
honestly, bless Gucci because I think she contributed the most.
Thank
Bless
you,
Gucci.
Gucci.
Yeah, and Beto's the
And
real
Beto.
hero of the story. But yeah, it's crazy. I cannot believe we got the car fixed, and they never knew. Like if Nikki had never told them, I
They would've
really
never
think they
known.
would have
Not until this podcast. They listen to this.
Yeah.
They're huge fans. Her parents.
Surprise!
Exactly. They're there.
Yeah. And surprise,
They come on
our new
in,
guest.
and they're wearing the sequins coat you were looking for.
Oh my god. Yeah, the second story.
Oh my gosh.
You know what?
Okay, driving without a license, crashing a car, and then fixing it in a frightening neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you were not there, so you didn't know. Like,
I'm glad I didn't go to a frightening neighborhood.
honestly, I would be the same. I'd be like, you know what? The adventure ends here for me. I'll be waiting in
Yeah.
the lobby. You good luck, everybody else.
Yeah, I'll be playing Pong on my BlackBerry.
It's the safer option. I'm also like definitely like that. I'm like, I'll miss out. It's fine. You guys go.
Yeah.
I do like
Okay.
that she named names in both stories. It was
Yeah,
like
we've got
my
some names.
cousin's friend Amy. This one we got Coochie, Beto, Nikki. She's like
Mhm.
neighborhoods.
Yeah, the full
Mm.
neighborhoods. Okay.
I've been to Panama City.
Yeah?
Have you?
Yeah. So maybe
You don't.
there's
No.
nothing I
Where did you stay?
I stayed maybe like half an hour out of the city.
Mm.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. We saw the canal,
Oh,
like
yeah.
all tourists, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then I went to Bocas del Toro.
Oh, Boca is beautiful.
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
I never want to see the canal again.
Right.
Because that's what. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not
Canal
kidding. Because here's the thing: when we first moved to Panama, anytime like my mom's friends will like visit her,
They want to see it.
Oh.
it was like, we
gotta
gotta
go to
see the Panama Canal, and we were like, it's literally not that impressive. It's a canal where boats pass very slowly, very slowly. So you go, and the first time I ever saw the Panama Canal, I was 8 and I had tonsillitis.
So it's
And
like
a
forever
fever.
ingrained.
So you're
So,
like, I have a bad
I
memory.
have a bad memory. And I was eating lobster bisque at the restaurant because it was soup, and it hurt so bad to swallow.
Oh.
Anyway, long story short, doesn't like add anything to this. But,
But she's
every-
proving that she
but
did live in
every
Panama.
time
Yes.
people would be like, come to the Panama Canal, like we want to go see it. And we would go, and we'd go to the Canal Museum, and we would see the boat go like this. And then the water come like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
There
the
you go.
magical moment when they meet.
Wow.
And then I was like,
A marvel of engineering.
And then I was like, I never need to see that again in my life,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
saw it like 6 more times. Bocas, stunning.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, it was one of those beautiful places I ever went.
So
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
checks out. That sounds like
Checks
she
out.
is
Mm.
has spent some time in Panama.
Okay. I feel like I've been asking questions kind of along the way as well, or like interjecting. Okay. Do you have any questions?
The logistics, I guess, if he drove, what was his name? The driver,
Beto.
If he drove you to Nikki's house, he would have had to walk back, I guess, or take the bus.
I will not lie. I cannot remember for the life of me how that car made it back to
or how you
Yeah.
even made it back after
or
playing
how
pong.
I
on your-
even made it back. Like,
It's all a blur.
I don't remember if I asked my mom to pick me up. I don't remember if Beto drove us.
Mhm,
But I know for sure that the next day I went over to Nikki's.
You
And
were
And
clean
we
the
like,
car.
looked at that car and we looked at each other
Right.
and we said, they're gonna know.
What color
Yeah.
was the car?
Black.
That's how it was in my head as well.
Yeah, it was in my. I was like thinking also maybe a dark green.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I also, like, I know I said Range Rover or Land Rover, but I don't know if it was that because they did
Mhm.
have one. Like, Nikki drove me to school once she actually learned how to drive in senior year,
Okay.
and she drove me in a Land
you-
Rover.
You trusted her after that, huh?
Yeah. We also skipped class so many times, and the principal knew I was a good kid. And he came up to me and he was like, who's driving you to school? I was like,
Oh.
Nikki. And he was like, why are you not in math class?
Ooh.
And I was like, he was like, I don't know, find a better ride. He was like, find a better ride. I never found a better ride.
Yeah, you're like, sir, this is the ride, okay?
Yeah, no,
this is the ride.
Well, we had math, and our teacher was named Mr. Proctor, and he was so boring, and Nikki used to call him Mr. Protractor, and he hated it. It was just bad. Like,
I mean, how could he expect not to have that name? And he's a math teacher.
He's a math teacher. His name was
Come
Mr.
on.
Proctor.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was too easy for us. We were
Yeah.
immature
I'm like,
and hated his class.
you know
So-
what? You gotta
and
roll
hated
with
him
it.
to his
sir.
core.
No, him personally, nothing. Just like the class was so boring.
In her head, it's a Range Rover, but maybe in reality, it's a smart car.
No, it's not.
It's a
It
smart car
was-
limousine.
It was a bigger car, but now I'm just thinking, like, logistically, the fact that we found a piece for it, because my mom actually, so this is like very small tangent.
Mhm.
My mom, when she was married to my dad, we had a BMW, but then when they got divorced, she sold it because she had to take care of us.
Mhm.
And also she thought, I'm gonna sell it and buy like a very generic, like more affordable car, because if anything happens to it, if we crash or anything, like the pieces are available.
Mhm.
Right.
The
yeah,
parts are
yeah.
available, you don't have to order them. So I'm thinking it was probably like a more generic car.
Mhm,
But I
mhm,
also don't know. I still don't have my G2, guys.
Neither do I.
Like, I
There you
And
go.
maybe this neighborhood, the sketchy neighborhood, it's like a chop shop. They're used to luxury cars being stolen and taken there, so they got all the
Maybe.
parts.
Yeah, they just. Yeah.
But they changed it. It was like brand new.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think we've poked enough holes.
What do you think?
I have which one I think is true and which one I think is fake in my mind.
Okay, I think I do too.
Okay.
Same time.
Yeah, I know, right? Audience, please take a moment. Decide which one you think is true and which one you think is stolen or false. If you're on YouTube, comment down below. If you're just listening on your, on Apple or on Spotify, just, say it in your mind, say it out loud, tell your cat, tell your, bus driver, whoever's sitting next to you.
Tell Beto if he's driving you. Yeah.
I was like, "Del Beto."
And let's get ready. Oh, wait, actually, no, because first we have to guess and then we'll do the reveal. Of course, that's how it has to go. Okay, I think the second story is fake.
Oh, I think the first story's fake.
Oh, interesting.
Controversial.
Controversial. Sometimes we don't agree. Okay, so big reveal.
The first story is fake.
Ah! Oh, I feel so good to win.
It feels so good to have both of the stories be thought real.
Yeah. Okay, so how much of the first story is fake? 100% of it?
We did play that game,
You did play that game?
but I actually took different parts from like my mom. So my mom actually, when she was a kid, had many supernatural
Oh,
experiences.
wait, the second story's.
The second story is true.
Oh,
The car
okay.
accident did happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beto is a good employee.
Beto
Yes, I got
was
you.
saint in this world.
Big shout out to Beto.
Yeah, honestly, like the fact that he like
Wow.
so like did all of that crazy. But the first story is fake. We did play that game,
Okay.
and that house exists.
Mhm.
I've been to that house many times.
Did cousin
The-
Amy exist? Amy's.
Yeah. All the people exist,
Mm-hmm.
and the game we played once.
Mm-hmm.
But then what actually happened is my mom and Nina, who was their mom, actually were friends as teenagers. And they played a similar game in that house. And they were the ones that heard like the thing shatter.
Oh, so it was
And they
their...
heard the noise and they heard all of that.
Gotcha.
I actually don't know it was in that house.
Or
'cause-
yeah, but
they played that together.
yeah.
So it was
And
her
they-
story in reality.
It was her story in reality. So I
Ah.
stole it from my mom, and then I was like, I was trying to think of who do I know well enough
Yeah.
that I could take a story that makes sense,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and if there's people in it, like I could just switch the people.
Well, the Ecuador
Right.
thing is good too, like throwing us off the scent, being like, "Oh, this is from back then," because we know you're from there. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
this seems
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
So I was like, it needs to be from like somebody I know. I thought of another one that my mom had, but I was like, this one, it was too like it happened to her, but it was like too supernatural that I was like,
Whoa.
Seems fake.
it seems fake. So I was like,
Oh, wow. Okay. Would love to hear that story, but save it for
the laughing in the
Halloween.
house.
Oh my gosh, that would be so scary.
I actually can't handle the fact that like I asked my mom like how do you deal with that, and she was like, no, we literally brought somebody to like stage the house.
Well, that's why I even think that when I made the
100%.
joke that it was creepier in Spanish, I feel like the original Exorcist movie either takes place in Brazil or Argentina or like
Yeah, a lot
he's a
of
Spanish
like,
priest, I think.
there's
or
a lot of
Portuguese.
like supernatural beliefs back there. I also think everything's energy. So like a big part of me is like whether it's like spirits or not spirits or whatever. I think if you believe that something can happen, you're more likely to like see it than like if you're like,
more receptive to
the energy if it does exist than if you're just like absolutely doesn't.
Yeah,
So,
I'm on that same.
But
Laughing in the house.
Okay, well that's
Hinting
not one
at
of
her
the
next-
stories.
Yeah.
You're like, I do not want to hear this story right now. It's too creepy.
I thought because you didn't remember what happened with the car, I was like, oh, that's kind of sus. So
that's why you thought it was
That's
fake.
why I thought the second story was fake. Oh, it's okay. Sometimes I lose. That's fine. I'll be okay.
I wish I remember now.
losing.
I cannot. Like, for the life of me, I'm like, how did we get home?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, that's realism right there. Sometimes you black out, you don't remember certain aspects of the story. Fine. Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought I was right for sure. Okay, whatever. That's fine.
Thank you so much for
coming on the
having
show.
me. It's so fun.
Hilariously, now back. I think it's been almost a year
I think
since
it's almost a year, literally.
Yeah, since my actual first episode where Dani was my real first guest. Whoa! So wow, happy anniversary!
Oh yeah, thank you.
And Dani, where can people find you?
Yes,
on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, just Dani Dani and then Donayre Donayre.
Perfect.
And where can they find Beto?
Beto, I don't know where Beto is, but I wish him the best in this life. I don't know where Beto.
He's huge on TikTok. Great.
Big shout out
to
to
you.
you.
Huge on TikTok. The amount of times he would pick us up at like 2 a.m. from places.
Wow.
Like it was like Beto.
Big shout out to Beto. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Steele My Story. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, be sure to click subscribe. Give us a review if you have the chance. It really, really helps the podcast. If you're on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, notifications on, comment down below. You know the drill. And you can follow us on TikTok or on Instagram at Steele My Story Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Mwah! Bye!